got our next speaker coming up. He is Eric. He is going to be speaking and giving thanks to all our great people that are here today and for the people that fight for us. Let's give it up for Eric.
Good evening, everyone. I first want to start off with a few thank yous. Although I'll admit it's going to be nearly impossible to thank everyone that's been involved with this entire event. And if I do not mention someone, please, definitely forgive me. But I'd like to thank the so many people that have made this event possible, from the Tea Party board members to the numerous committee heads and all of their volunteers that have helped them out. We had workers in fundraising to get this great event, communications to get the word out, and so many people who made sure that this event looks, feels, and sounds as good as it can. We sent out numerous emails and received even more. We did our best to accommodate all emails and phone calls, but we know we probably fell a little short. But I want to promise you it wasn't out of neglect. It was out of sheer overload from everyone in this room. And we want to thank you for your patience and your devotion. And I want to thank just our many, many, many sponsors that have helped us out. And I got to tell you, I'm not even going to begin to try to name them so that I don't leave any out. But I'm telling you, it goes from monetary help to lending us a tent, a chair, or just their able bodies to move a tent and a chair. Great or small, they were all priceless to make this event happen. And last but not least, I want to thank everybody in here, and you guys are still pouring in. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We're going to keep this going. Thank you guys very much. And now you get to listen to me a little bit more. I'm going to tell you about arguably one of the best films of all time, and certainly one of the greatest gangster films of all time. I'm talking about The Untouchables. This is a movie detailing how Elliot Ness, played by Kevin Costner, managed to bring tax evasion charges against the all-time #1 gangster of all time, Al Capone, played by Robert De Niro. Now, Ness is able to do this with the aid of some sidekicks, one of them being a trusty old beat cop, Sam Malone, played by Sean Connery. Connery's character is destined to have a fateful end, but not before he is able to teach the young and energetic, although inexperienced Ness a few things. In the movie and in real life, it was no mystery what Al Capone was doing. Everybody knew it was illegal. It was not a shocker to know where he lived or operated his business. It wasn't even that difficult to identify who on the police force, in the government, or around town were on the payroll of this famous gangster. What it took was someone with the legal know-how and the guts to do something about it. When Ness and his compadres got a little bit too close to Capone, he did what many bad guys do, and he went to send a message. But he doesn't do it in an honorable way, he does it in a cheap shot. Goes to Connery's house and cuts him down in cold blood. But not before Malone passes. Ness is able to get there. And Malone gives Ness one more piece of advice. As Malone lays there, bleeding, barely able to make it, he gains enough energy to grab Ness by the shirt, pull him close to him, and he asks Ness one question. What are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to do? What are we prepared to do? Whatever it takes, that's right, brother. Ness wasn't about to go against the law, he was put to uphold it. And Malone wasn't asking him to. Instead, he was asking him if he was prepared to do what was not fun, what was not popular, what might not win him a lot of friends. Certainly not in the media and in the government. Now, are we truly prepared to wage this fight too? We have already seen and know what the media is going to do. They're not going to support us. Were we prepared, though, for the ugliness and hatred that went along with it? Are we prepared for more? Are we prepared for a fight that's not going to be accepted by our politicians in Washington, D.C.? Now look, we know where the Dick Durbins and Barbara Boxers of the world rest on these issues. They're hopeless. But are we prepared for what the Lindsey Grahams and John McCains are going to say when we come to them? Are we prepared to go to battle for a complete victory and not further compromise into fiscal submission, even in the face of opposition from both parties in the elite D.C. mainstream? $11.5 trillion. Let me say that again, $11.5 trillion and counting, folks. You don't just cut that off without massive resistance. So the question stands, what are you prepared to do?